So one thing I want you to remember is that more grants will not save your nonprofit, but operations will. 83% of nonprofits that actually top 1 million did it after tightening up their back end systems. Okay, so not by collecting more grant rejections, because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. If you keep applying for grants and getting rejected, you're just collecting them at this point. So I want you to start from a place that makes sense, which is your systems, okay? Because one thing is the Stanford Innovation, I know I love data, right? The Stanford Social Innovation Review, one thing that they shared is that 53% of US nonprofits actually run with less than 3 months of cash and reserves, okay? And I want you to remember that's not resilience, that's not sustainability, that's playing roulette. Okay. At any moment, you can tell your team members, hey, I don't have enough money to pay you. That's not okay. And I need you to start realizing that you need to systematize and ensure that organization is sustainable enough for you to run it like an organization that makes sense. Okay. One thing I want to teach from my scale up framework is the map the money flow. Okay. A way for you, that's the S, the systematized aspect of the framework, where I want you to go from donor dollar to program output. Because if you cannot draw it, you cannot fix it. And that's what I want you to remember. You need to start mapping where each dollar is going, right? You need to be able to document the 20% of tasks that drive 80% of the impact. So what I mean by that, standard operating procedures for every repeatable process, such as payroll, grant reporting, volunteer onboarding. So these things need to be systematized. So you need standard operating procedures. That's very important for your organization, whether you like it or not. And the last thing I want you to remember, you also need to assign a single owner for each system, right? So the tools that you have, tools won't own the task. That's something that people will do. So if you have a task that is something that you do all the time, like a process or whatnot, like reporting or donor outreach or community engagement, you need to have someone own that task for your organization, or it's going to be very difficult for you to track the progress of these tasks. Because every missing system in your organization, what it does, it creates a level of friction within your entire organization or enterprise, right? You have lost time, you have burnout, and you have a level of skepticism that exists around funding, because now organizations, different stakeholders are looking at you like don't trust you. They don't trust the work that you're doing because this stuff does not make sense. Okay. The other thing I want you to remember is that funders, stakeholders, donors, they don't want to fund anything they skeptical of. Like, I want you to think about this day and age that we live in. People are working, like, always worked hard for their money, but thing is lifing out here, right? Your organization needs to put itself beyond reproach and start addressing certain things like the systems and the way it operates, so people can look at it, funders, stakeholders, donors, whatever you want to call them, can look at your organization for what it is. They can look at your organization as the machine that it's supposed to be. Like, you are heart-centered, and you're focused on your impact, but you're also functioning in a way that makes sense, where you have that level of trust with your community and the people you serve, but also a level of trust with the side, the funders, the donors, the people that fund the impact, because that's the level of transparency and trust that you want to build. So if you are ready to build the operations engine that attracts six-figure checks, you need to join the Nonprofit Navigator course. That's a self-paced course that I created for smaller organizations that are looking to build their systems and operations, but they don't have the tools or capacity or the know-how to do that. In that course, you'll have it available for years, and it's continuously updated, where I add modules but one of the modules is to help you figure out how to create standard operating procedures. You get templates, you get things like that, and also how to create a fundraising plan for your organization that fits the capacity that you currently have. So if you are interested in the Nonprofit Navigator course, definitely check the link in the comments, depending on where you're watching. If not, comment the word Navigator and I'll send you the link to sign up for that course. It is $297 for the self-paced course, and you can access a Facebook group for support and ask questions that you have. But with that said, I'm gonna go and let me know if you have any questions.